when you have a concept in a sport like this, you have to have a vision. It's all about the vision. And, a lot of different people have different opinions of me. But I'm the vision, and I've been the vision since the day I said to the Fertittas, we should buy this thing. I'm not saying that they didn't have and weren't part of the vision, but I'm the vision guy when it comes to the UFC and the fight game. And
but how difficult is that to keep changing the vision, though? I mean, you have a vision of, like, we get to here, but then it's, now we go here and here and here.
Right. The vision never changed. I mean, my vision, since day one, you've always heard me say, this thing can be global and this will work everywhere. Now we're getting to a point where, if I wanted to put on a certain fight, let's say you got the right fight in the right place at the right time, right? I got to go out and cut 100 different television deals around the world for this thing to air globally, and it still wouldn't reach everywhere. Now with streaming, with ESPN Plus and UFC Fight Pass, we can do fights all over the world. And now what we're going to start to do is we start to do the Contender Series, the Ultimate Fighter, another show that I'm working on right now. Not to mention the original content that we're working on right now. This can literally reach. There's 7 billion people in the world, 320 million in the United States. There is no ceiling.
So boxing next, perhaps, but also NFL. We're hearing from you. We've heard that recently. So I mean, I know this has been talked about for a long time, but it seems like you're getting more serious about it now. So where did this come from?
Well, it's not about me being serious about it. It's about the Fertitta brothers being serious about it. So, I've said many times, I would get back into business with a coffee shop with these guys. I would do anything with them. I think they feel the same way about me. And we've always talked about if this ever happened that we would do it together. But make no mistake, it won't divert any attention away from what I'm doing.
So do business with them, do business with Conor McGregor at some point in the future, we're assuming as well. Where do we stand with him right now?
Yeah, Conor and I are in a really good place. When he's ready to come back, we're ready to have him.
Do you get any indication of when that might be or if that might be at some point?
I don't. We talked a couple days ago about things, but it wasn't fighting. So like I say, our relationship is good. It's always been good. And this fight just happened, the Cowboy fight with Tony. Great fight. Tony looked incredible. Now Habib is going to fight Poirier, and we'll see how this thing plays out and where Conor fits in. And Conor's one of these guys where he's been so successful. He's made so much money. And now his whiskey's killing it.
It's on the top shelf here in your room.
Damn right it is. He can it's actually good whiskey. I like it. And I don't like whiskey, but his is actually good. That's not just a plug, it's the truth. Then he's making a ton of money with that. So this guy's in a position where he can never fight again, or he can sit back and call his shots on what he wants to do.
You mentioned Tony. What about him? I mean, he's won every fight since 2012. The guy has obviously, done everything you can ask of him. Does he wait around now? Does he get the winner of Khabib and Dustin?
I don't know. We'll see what he wants to do. Tony's run into a lot of bad luck. If you look at how many times we've made that Khabib fight and how many times it hasn't happened, then we're getting ready. Then he blows his knee out in the last one. He has to sit out when he's got the interim title and has to recover from ACL surgery. Then we go back and we ask him for the fight. He's having personal problems and turns down the fight. Then comes back a month later and says he wants to fight. So he fights Cowboy, and here we are now. So yes, this guy has more than earned it. He and I feel like we're in a good place right now. So again, we'll see how all this plays out too. You always think as an organization, obviously if you're in sports, you want to be with ESPN. ESPN is it. But you don't really realize how good ESPN is and how big their platform really is until you're in it. And, I've said this a lot over the last couple weeks. We've been in business with these guys now 6 months, and our business has gone just like this. It's insane, it's unbelievable, and it's incredible how good they really are. You have to be in it like I'm in it to really understand. And yes, this has been bigger and better than I even imagined.